Here's another video about dealing with plumbing issues. I don't want all my videos to be about fixing plumbing problems, but what I've discovered is that in my life, when I've come across problems and I've went searching for solutions, I oftentimes found good solutions. And this video, which you're about to see, was a time when I was able to fix a problem that just aggravated me, maybe for a month or more. And it is a plumbing video, but I don't expect them all to be that way. I've got some other film that I've shot about spending some time with my family, watching a gorgeous sunset. Anyway, they're coming up. But because this one was so much fun, the solution to my plumbing problem, simple, inexpensive, I wanted to share it with you. And take a look. Oops. Take a look. Take a look. Recently, I had a persistent problem with a toilet that wouldn't flush. The interesting thing is that I discovered that I did have a tree right outside the wall, and I was pretty certain the tree roots had gotten into the line where the toilet would flush. Near the toilet, I had a shower, and the shower then began to back up. And further down the line, toward the front of the house, I had another bathroom with problems. Now, the reason I was telling you about the plugged up toilet and the fact that it was getting worse because it was moving along the line under the floor and plugging up showers and plugging up other toilets and stuff. And I called the guys out, and they went to the original toilet, cleaned it out, and I paid them. Problem was, things backed up almost within a day. So the main purpose of this video is to explain what I did. I mean, sometimes you've got to remove the toilet bowl tank and also the toilet bowl, and you got to get under the flooring and auger it out and clean it up. Roots will get in those pipes. But here's how I got it fixed. When I called them back out, they admitted they didn't know what was causing it. They then literally ran a line in my front yard all the way out to the street. They also went into my kitchen and went under my sink in the kitchen, took off the little plate, found the drain, and ran the auger again from the kitchen, supposedly all the way out to the street. I thought, well, it's fixed. This is great. Maybe 2 days later, it backed up again. I was not happy. But I hit on an idea. What I did was, I went in the front yard. Now, in the front yard, most front yards, if they're within the last 40 years or so, have, there's a term for them, but they have a pipe in the front yard covered with a plastic cap. And you can use that to auger into the pipe that goes from your house. You can go one direction or to the street where the sewer line is. I wish I could remember the name. I'm sorry. I'll put it up on the bottom of the screen when I put this up. I went out there, and this is what I did. By the way, before the plumbers came out, I had purchased several items that I could use to auger out my plumbing lines. These worked well for going down through the drain in the floor of the shower. Do not, I repeat, do not use this type on your toilet. Not a good idea. They don't work for that. And when you buy them on the package, it says don't use them for toilets. This is the type of auger that you use on a toilet. This red one, right here. It takes a little practice to get it right, but it's been good for me. That's the way I found out I had roots in the bottom of one of my toilet. Now, in your front yard somewhere, you are going to have one or more of these. I think they refer to them as cleanouts. And I discovered after I had plugged lines and everything, I discovered that this one in the back, right there, I tagged it with white paint. That I discovered that of the 4 different ones in my front yard, this one, and I marked it with some white paint. This one was my problem one. See whether or not the bottom of the pipe was plugged or holding back stuff. I used a large flashlight. Now the reason you want to use a large flashlight, not a small one, is you don't want to lose it down inside that hole. So using this large flashlight, I could look inside there and see whether it was clogged or not. There are several kinds of toilet plungers. Here are two of the most common. This one is important for our purposes because it has a flange on the bottom. You can buy this type, just a basic plunger, with a flange on the bottom of it. This doesn't have one. But the one I'm going to concentrate on is this one over here, and what it can do to clean out that line in my front yard. And I went and I got that plunger that looks like this, and that flange on the end of the plunger fits right over that hole. See that? And then by grabbing the handle on top and giving it 2 or 3 good plunges down, like that. When I did it the first time, I could hear the water in my house that had backed up, flowing through this pipe and headed for the street over there. And knock on wood, but the plumbers haven't been back. I'm going to reset this. I don't want anything falling in there, clogging up the line. So I'm going to carefully screw it back over the hole. Done. Okay, let's summarize quickly. I had a problem with water lines in my house, toilets, showers, sinks, backing up. I tried to auger them out myself. I had some success, but it wasn't permanent. I had the plumbers out once, and they augered like crazy. They literally removed a toilet from the floor, went down through the pipe and augered there, supposedly all the way out to the street. They also went, they finished that, they put it back together. It worked fine for a couple of days. And then I called them and I said, it's backing up again. So they came out, and this time they went into my kitchen and went under my sink and went through the line that goes out to the street from under my sink. More big augering, lots of noise, guys working on it. Worked for a while. But a couple days later, it plugged up again. I didn't get a final fix, a final relief, until I went in the front yard and found the correct pipe access coming out of my house that's going to the curb. Here's a picture of all of them. I opened it up. I took a flashlight, a big flashlight, not a small one. Actually, I used a small one at first, but I got scared I was going to drop it down in the pipe. And if I did that, I'd have people digging up my front yard to replace the pipe. So I got this big one, and I pointed it down there, and I looked down, and I could see that it had backup in there. So I took the plunger from my house, this particular one, and this collar fit over that cap in the front yard well. I plunged and plunged and plunged and plunged and plunged, only for a minute or two, and not even 2 minutes, but I heard it break loose. I heard water rushing out of the pipes in my house headed for the street. Pipe in that hole I was looking in with the flashlight, it just went away. Whatever was plugging it up, I think I succeeded in removing it. So, here's a clue. If you're having a plumbing problem, don't hesitate to check those clean out, whatever they're called, pipes in your front yard. Here's a picture of them again. Open them up. It's not a big deal to open them up. Just unscrew them and look down inside there and see if you have backup. If you do, consider buying one of these, about $11, put it over that hole and plunge, and see if you can't fix it yourself before you have to call out an expensive plumber. All right, I hope it helps. Take care. Like my hat? Yes, I'm a big University of Arizona fan. All right, guys. Happy holidays. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not really disparaging plumbers. Plumbers that came out did a pretty good job, and I'm not sure I could have solved the problem on my own. I really had some roots down there, and they cut through those, and I appreciated that. However, my plumbing problem didn't get fixed until I took it into my own hands And I used this very simple little trick, which I've just shown to you. And hopefully it'll work for some of you to get that line finally clear where it isn't backing up every 2-3 days or every week or whatever. All right. Have a good day. Bye.